quick check-in. How you been feeling lately? What kind of mood have you been in? Have you been a little irritable? Have you been tired? I know that I have been feeling a little irritable, a little anxious. And I think there's a question here that we should be asking ourselves. We are so quick to assume that a bad mood means something is wrong. I'm constantly asking my son when he makes a noise, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? But maybe it's not about what's wrong with my son, what's wrong with your relationship, what's wrong with your job, what's wrong with ourselves. But sometimes the problem isn't that something is wrong at all.
Welcome to the Be Your Own Life Coach podcast, where you master your mind and coach your own comeback. You are the hero, you are the guide, and you will learn to architect your life from the inside. I'm your host, Britannia Stowe, joined by my sister and co-host, Annika Wilder. Enjoy the show.
With my son, I find that every little squeal or look, I don't know why, but my trigger is what's wrong? And I'm teaching him that something is constantly wrong. He's only one, so I still have time. But instead, I've started to change that language. Language is important to what's going on, not what's wrong. What's going on? When he's trying to walk and he's stuck because his little walker is stuck in the corner, because he's trying to open something and he can't get it open. Every squeal, every noise, instead of saying what's wrong, I say what's going on. Stay curious, stay open. Just because things aren't going your way, just because you're feeling some kind of way, doesn't mean anything is wrong. Remember, your feelings are information and they're temporary. You're constantly getting fed this information and it roller coasters throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. Sometimes for me, it's from moment to moment. If I'm constantly asking myself when I'm irritable, what's wrong? I'm going to look for what's wrong. Like, oh, well, I didn't sleep, or my husband's annoying me, or I need a break from my son, or I'm stressed about this. I'm going to look for the wrong. But instead, if I check in and go, what's going on? Hmm, I am a little irritable. I am feeling a little anxious. This information is not instructions. So when you are feeling something, ask the question, what is going on? Instead of, oh my gosh, we need to panic. Something is wrong. Sometimes your irritation, your anxiety isn't because there's something wrong with you. You may just be tired. Sometimes irritability is exhaustion. And that might not be a physical tired, like you need to go take a nap, but maybe it could be. And in Colorado, we've been having the worst smoke, and everyone has just been so tired and worn down. I've had friends going, am I sick? Do I have an immune disease? What's wrong with me? I feel like I'm dying. I'm irritable. I'm anxious. I'm not sleeping well. It may be exhaustion. It may be an emotional exhaustion. It may be a physical exhaustion. There may be other factors at play. Remember, take in that information. It is not instruction. Sometimes you might feel resentment. Resentment builds when we don't communicate our frustrations, right? Anger can come out when we've had resentment starting to build. And sometimes that is just a sign that you need support, that you need to communicate that you need support, that you need help. And maybe it's not help from your partner, though, you should lean on your partner, but it is not their job to support you exclusively. How else can you get support? Can you look onto a Facebook group? Can you join some type of, Reddit cohort? Can you talk to a coworker? Often resentment builds because we're silent in our suffering. If you speak up and ask for support, seek support, you can diminish that resentment. Again, this information, these feelings that come up, is not to go what is wrong, but what is going on. The anxiety that I've been feeling actually may align with clarity that is coming in. But I'm a little confused because I'm stuck in this anxious feeling. Anxiety may be the need for me to review the clarity, to review my safety. Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? Am I actually paying attention to the clarity that's coming to me? Am I shutting myself off? Am I open? Right? Anxiety is often coming from us looking to the future and not feeling like we have direction. So clarity and safety can offer a safety net or a warm hug that help diminish our anxiety. I often feel anxious, like I have been feeling, when there's something that's going to change in my life. It doesn't mean it's bad, but I can almost feel intuitively that there's going to be a shift, and I get scared and I get anxious. And all of a sudden, I get these questions because I don't have that clarity. Maybe the clarity is trying to come to me, but I'm so focused on what is wrong and that feeling, that information, instead of taking it as information. And I should be saying, what's going on? What's going on here? Loneliness. It's so funny because these are all the feelings that I feel. And when I lined this out, I didn't think about that I specifically was feeling any of these, just that people are feeling that. So maybe this episode is for me. This was kind of an unplanned episode, anyways. So, loneliness. Even though I have a loving husband and a son, and I have family and friends, I can feel lonely. And maybe you feel that way. Maybe you actually have a big family and you are surrounded by people who love you, but maybe you're feeling a little bit of loneliness. Maybe you don't realize it's loneliness and it shows up as something else. Maybe it's frustration. Maybe you're isolating yourself and you feel frustrated and you don't realize that you're doing it because maybe you're scared to be vulnerable, to connect, to share. Maybe you're feeling some guilt or shame when really you just want a friend to sit and watch a show with, a partner to hold your hand. Sometimes what we feel is not exactly what is going on. And so that's why we have to ask ourselves that question. I know that for me, my loneliness comes out of uh, not taking care of my needs. I'll start to feel lonely because I've been focusing on pouring into my son and pouring into my husband and my dogs and my book and my project and my hustles. And I have not taken a yoga class or I have not gone on a walk just to go on a walk. I start to feel lonely because I've isolated myself. And it will come out with irritability and frustration. I'll start to have these panic attacks when all I need to do is maybe take a moment to call a friend, to maybe call my girlfriend to go on a walk with her dog, with our dogs, right? So sometimes these feelings show up as other things. I know specifically if you're feeling after this like surge of energy after the Lionsgate portal, which I know it's been a few weeks now, and you're feeling um, some procrastination because you did all the things and you poured yourself and into your projects and you had this energy and now you're feeling this kind of like lull and you're looking for reasons to validate your procrastination. Well, really, this procrastination is you're probably overwhelmed by all the ideas that you recently had. And now you think, how could I possibly accomplish all these things? Or you start to feel not worthy of the things that you desire, the ideas that came up. You start to think about how much work things will be, and you will talk yourself out of making movement. And so you procrastinate. It's not laziness. That's not even exhaustion. You're just feeling a little overwhelmed. And that's okay. That's okay. It's information. What you do with the information is what matters. So stop looking at yourself like there's something wrong and take the information and discern it. Maybe you're not feeling any of these things. Maybe you're not feeling frustration or irritability or anxiety. Maybe you're not feeling that, and that's okay. What are you feeling? Before you build this whole story about what you're feeling, take the information and discern what it's trying to tell you, what is going on, not what is wrong. Take a moment and ask. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need to laugh. When's the last time you laughed? Maybe you need to cry. Maybe that's the release that you need. Maybe you need to do something that's nothing at all. Maybe you need quiet or you need connection. Maybe you need boundaries, or maybe you have the boundaries, but you haven't communicated them yet. Maybe you need help. Maybe you just need to be validated and seen. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's enough. Or maybe what you're looking for is fun and you just need to let yourself play. Ask yourself, what is it that I need? Take the information. Don't numb it. Don't hide it. Don't run from it. Discern from it. Again, not what is wrong, but what is going on. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding? What am I really afraid of here? What is holding me back? Am I being held back? Or maybe I just need a moment of peace to allow the clarity to come to me. Maybe I just need to feel seen. Maybe I just need to be okay with not being okay right now, right? Take a moment and ask yourself these questions. Identifying a need doesn't mean that you have to look outside of you to solve it, right? It's often you have to look inside of yourself to fill that need. And I think when we often are thinking about support and help, we think that someone else needs to fulfill our need. But your partner, it is not their job to make you happy. Your boss is not your boss's job to make sure you love your job. You need to look inside of yourself. You are the only one responsible for meeting that need. And the next time you catch yourself asking, what's wrong with me? Change the question. What's going on? What am I feeling? What might I need? And what can I do to give myself some of that today? Just like with my son, with every noise that he makes, every cry, every look, it's not about what's wrong. It's about what's going on.
This has been another episode of the Be Your Own Life Coach podcast. If you found value in today's conversation, subscribe and share the love. And remember the teachings of Lao Tzu. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Until next time, trust yourself, take the wisdom, take the breath, and take the next step.